Like it's not just us here in Texas, Marielle, that have had a real active season. Seems like just all over. The Mother Nature's having a little fun with everybody.
You know, Chris, I was looking at data for the month of May, and it was the most active in terms of severe reports since 2011.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. So it has been a very busy year. It's not just in our head.
It's not just in our head. It really has been very active across the region. And that's what led us to have our 5th wettest year to date on record. So we still have more storms on the way.
More on the way? Yeah. Really? We're just going to keep adding to that record, huh?
Here's the good news. I'm not expecting widespread rain. I am not expecting a big severe threat either. It's actually a really low threat for severe weather the next couple of days, and then we're drying out for a few days. But then the heat comes.
I was going to say, that means bring on the heat. Careful what you wish for.
Yeah, here's what you got to know about the rest of today. We're looking at scattered storms, not just today, but through Wednesday. The severe threat is low, like I mentioned, and the rain, as soon as it moves out, the heat moves back in, and that's just in time for your weekend. But right now on radar, still looking at a cluster of storms close to Bonham, just to the north of Hunt County, and also looking at a cluster of storms northwest of the area, just to the west of Wichita Falls, and a bit more activity across our far southeastern counties, closer to southeast Texas, closer to the Brazos Valley. Otherwise, just looking at cloud cover for most of us. And that's really what we're going to see a majority of the day. And like I said, the severe weather threat today and tonight, super low. It is a little bit more elevated across areas of the big country near Abilene, heading closer towards West Texas. We're looking at a level 1 out of 5 for up to quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. But this is what radar could look like for us over the next couple of hours. Activity very scattered in nature. It's just going to pop up. These storms are, and then as soon as they pop up, they kind of just fizzle out. That's why we're not expecting any severe storms. This is Monday now around 4, and as soon as we get closer to sunset, we see a lot of this activity kind of winding down. Now, there is a cluster of thunderstorms that's going to take shape along the west. It could clip some of our southwestern counties. The outflows of that storm could very well make it into North Texas sometime tomorrow morning, but coverage is going to be really low. The severe threat is not going to be there either. This is Tuesday now around 7. Now, Tuesday afternoon and evening, we could very well see additional activity, especially to the southwest of DFW, and that's for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts up to quarter-size hail, a level 1 out of 5. So very low level risk for any severe activity. In fact, most of the activity that we see tomorrow will not be severe. And this is what that looks like. Again, a few clusters of storms clipping our southwestern counties, but by early afternoon, we could very well see some additional scattered activity. Again, this is not very well organized. That'll continue throughout the evening. Coverage-wise, 40% this afternoon, 40% Tuesday afternoon. And as soon as we get into those overnight hours, that activity starts to kind of wind down just because we lose a lot of the energy from the sun. So we are expecting to still see about 20% coverage on Wednesday. After that, those temperatures are cranking up. But look at this. We could pick up anywhere between 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rain between now and Wednesday afternoon. Lower amounts the more northeast you are. Right now, Cedar Hill looking very cloudy. It's feeling warm, 84 degrees, not quite as warm as the weekend. Today, I'm only expecting temperatures to make it into the mid-80s. That'll happen middle of the afternoon, so not quite as warm as the weekend. 85 for Dallas and Fort Worth. I am expecting to see the humidity add a factor to our temperatures as we get closer to Thursday, Friday. The heat index into the upper 90s, and that'll take us through Father's Day weekend. I'm expecting to see some additional storms next week, but really coverage remaining low over the next 14 days. We'll be right back.